Now, hello everyone. It's my great pleasure to introduce a distinguished member of our faculty today, Shri Shubhomoy Saha sir. With a remarkable career that spans over 23 years, he has been an invaluable asset to our institute and a source of inspiration for our profession. A management postgraduate with over 23 years of experience in various corporate functions and entrepreneurial values, insightful understanding in organizational capability, business strategy and revenue model, Sir is now endeavoring to create the capabilities to upscale the organizations through various endeavors as a business process and human performance practitioners across the multiple industry and size of the business. Having worked across 20 plus industries and with 300 plus clients, majority focused on designing and building the structured processes and interventions for human capital management from organizational structure. Sir has been focusing on building the enterprise capability to handle its most important resource, that is called human being, in a most effective manner and pushing to create a culture of an ownership, competency and learning amongst the entire workforce at all levels of management. Sir's journey has taken him through the key learning stints in banking and non-banking domains across the financial institutions, banks, capital markets, and NBFCs. He has been engaged by SHCIL, that is the country's first and largest digitized security custodian to financial institutions, ICICI Bank, Anand Rathi Group, spearheaded by ex-BSc president in his journey from an office trainee to a country lead position. Having engaged in path-breaking market transformation in custodial depository management and retail banking and wealth management, he brings a wide variety of strategy and marketing skills to the table. Sir embodies the values of our student. We are incredibly fortunate to have him as a part of our conference. So with big round of applause, please join us in welcoming Shri Shubhomoy sir to the stage.
Good afternoon, friends. So, as my fellow colleague said, the floor is yours. It was the sweetest thing to hear. Because when the floor is all yours, you can create magic. So, my name is Shubhomoy. I am a finance grad. I am a HR postgraduate. I'm a fellow in Center of Excellence for Scaling Up Companies. And I am a psychometric practitioner. So it was few years back. It's almost a silver jubilee right now, 25 years back, when somebody asked me, what is your choice? So I would like this session to be a little interactive, right? You all are the most bright minds in the industry, I believe. Somebody told me long back when I was working with Mr. Rathi, he was a president for Bombay Stock Exchange, and I was one of the regional directors. And you know, there's a place called Jodhpur in India. I hope everybody knows of that place. Since I've been born and brought up in Rajasthan, and having worked with a stalwart who was once heading Grasim Industries, I came across a lot of friends of mine who were graduating as CAs from Jodhpur. And I still remember Jodhpur to be a hub where all CAs came from. And we used to talk a lot. What did we talk? We spoke that, you know, it's such a difficult profession. हम लोग तो साइंस के ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, हमारे कुछ दोस्त कॉमर्स के ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, एंड आगे जाके सीए करना है, 100 में 2 लोग पास होते हैं, कैसे करेंगे? How do we do it? 2 people in 100 people make the mark, right? And still, I take it as one of the most, like my senior colleague just said, one of the most difficult professions to go in but come out, right? So, अगर किसी प्रोफेशन का सक्सेस परसेंटेज 2% हो, तो वहाँ पर जाने से पहले मैं 100 बार सोचूंगा. But I see an ocean of people sitting in front of me who have not only done it, right, but are sitting at the peak of the mountain. And I'm so happy that I would actually like to applaud each one of you. Please. So I head an organization called ZIU Group with HR and business operations. Basically, it's the ZIU Group, which is into domestic CA practices. Z stands for Zinzuwadia. I stands for Enitor Global, which is our offshore accounting practice in UK and Australia. And U stands for Unison Globus, our accounting and outsourcing practice in US and Canada, and soon to start in other places also. So we are a group of chartered accountants and financial grads who are trying to capture the world in terms of both the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. And I head the HR and business operations. So as I said, when Sir said, you take the floor, I was so excited because I see almost 100, more than 100 future employable professionals before me. And that is what I need to scale up my company. So I'm looking at, we are now around 500, 600 people. And soon we are looking at crossing 1,000 plus, based out of Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Surat, Australia, US, Canada. And believe me, nobody is more excited than me on this entire auditorium. But let me start a few things. Therefore, since this is a campus placement talk, and I'm excited about young, bright minds, my senior colleague just spoke about, goals or irada. I will go one step ahead. इरादे के ऊपर है आपकी नियत. जब कोई नहीं देख रहा हो, तब भी आपकी नियत एकदम स्ट्रांग रहनी चाहिए. And you are the people who are going to make the character of the nation. Who other than, a band of chartered accountants who know how to run businesses, right? I don't know, few months back, I was asking somebody, out of 100 CEOs, who become CEOs in industry or in India, how many CEOs are from which background? And believe me, 82% of the CEOs who head companies, who head organizations, who head enterprises are from the finance background. Rest of them are from marketing, or some of them are lucky enough to become CEOs from an HR background. So that goes without saying that some of you might be the future CEOs going out in the business. And you, therefore, will form the character of Indian businesses. And the character of Indian businesses is something which the world looks up to. Right? As my learned senior colleague just said, we are soon going to be, a 5 trillion, 7 trillion. I would say that we will rule the world. And when we rule the world, our businesses will rule the world. Goes without saying. I was looking at a small WhatsApp video yesterday, and I was really amazed. So Mr. Ratan Tata had commissioned a project about a year back. And mind you, maybe another 1,000 days. So I've driven my car to this place, and my car runs on petrol. And I was amazed to see that video. The Tatas have already manufactured, the internal combustion engines which can run without petrol, without diesel, without gas, or even batteries. There's a small place near the golf course, Kenswile or something like that. I'm not getting it right. Kenswile. Anybody knows about iCreate? Anybody knows about an organization called iCreate? Anybody? Anybody? iCreate. Small I, CREATE. Anybody knows? It's just ahead of the golf course. Anybody? Okay. So, it's the largest technical incubation center in India, run by the PMO office. It is directly under the Prime Minister's office. And to tell you, there are more than a dozen odd scientists from Europe, from Israel, from Vietnam, from America, who are staying in that campus, working day in and day out to come out with new innovations under the Prime Minister's supervision. The director reports to the PMO office, and he's responsible for future projects, for replacing a lot of important things that we have today. They are trying to replace metals with 10 times more stronger material and 10 times more lighter material. Can you imagine if Indian industry can make a Boeing 747 or an Airbus which weighs almost 30% lesser than the Airbus or the Boeing 747s as of now. They are trying to replace China in terms of the battery component, the lithium and nickel that China dominates in the world today. If we find a replacement for the lithium and the nickel, can you imagine where will we be? Right? So I tell you, a lot of things are happening. Right? But we need to participate in that. Before participating in that, we need to know about it. And after we know about it, we need to do something about it. So as Saha just said, there must be some goals. So when I meet a lot of bright minds from a new campus, I'm a visiting faculty to most of the campuses in Gujarat, whether it is technical, that is engineering, whether it is commercial, that is MBA, whether it is one of the best architectural institutes of our country, that is CEPT. I addressed the architecture outgoing batch and the urban planning outgoing batch, right? So now I come to my question, because I'm here to hire you, right? I'm here to hire most of you. So you need to answer my questions. The first question: how many of you have made a choice in life? How many of you have made a choice in life? So I see one hand from there, I see one hand from there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, My second question: have you made a choice or have you taken a choice? Those people who have made a choice will put up their hands. Made a choice and not taken a choice. Can anybody speak? Right, I would like the gentleman there to speak. If anybody can hear him, can you just stand up and say what choice you have made to become a chartered accountant? Okay, fine. Yes, ma'am, I think she put up her hands. Yes. What choice have you made? Join the industry. Okay, fine. Still, I think I'm far away from the answer. So, see, there's a disclaimer. I'm not a chartered accountant. And I'm not an engineer. I'm not a commerce graduate. Right? But since the year 1999, I have been hiring engineers. I've been hiring chartered accountants. I've been hiring finance grads. I've been recruiting, science graduates, commerce graduates, and I have been working from the agriculture industry to the space science industry, right? I've recently been associated with a company in Sanand. It's called Jaival Aerospace. Anybody knows about Jaival Aerospace? It supplies components to all the Eastern European manufacturing companies. The best hub of technical manufacturing in the world is Eastern Europe, where you have Mercedes, Rolls-Royce, Boeings, Airbus, and whatnot. They are the hub of manufacturing of the world, right? So we have a company which is supplying embedded parts to Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, Boeing's 747s, right? So having understood the industry from agriculture to space, right? I am still looking for an answer. Yes, please. That was a little close to my answer, but still not the answer. Okay, fine. Let me just hurry up on this. When you make a choice in life, you do some research, correct? When you take a choice in life, you take something out of the menu. You know, in the restaurant, you have a menu. So you have a science graduate, you have a commerce graduate, you have a doctor, you have an engineer, you have X, Y, Z, industries, jobs on the list. Fine. So you just say, still our mothers and fathers would say, actually, beta engineer banega, beta doctor banega, ya X, Y, Z kya banega? Right? Still there would be at least half of the households in India who would say like this. Correct? Who will teach us to make our own choice? The choice which we are good at. The choice which would excel us. And the choice with which we never have to do a job in our life. हमें कभी भी नौकरी करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. I think all of you who are sitting here want success, right? And going ahead, you want success standing on your own feet. Chartered accountant practice is one of those important professions, right, where you stand on your own practice, So therefore, when you make a choice, you see around you how things have evolved in your industry, right? What is the definition of a finance graduate, a chartered accountant, right? A CPA or a CFA or a finance controller, etc., etc., etc. The first step to make your choice is to know your world. Where is your world? आपकी दुनिया कहाँ है? आपकी दुनिया में कौन कौन है? आपकी दुनिया में क्या है? आपकी दुनिया में कितने प्रोफेशंस हैं, कितने कंपनीज हैं, क्या क्या कर रही हैं? You know, so from the erstwhile traditional finance, that is corporate finance, where most of the CAs, my friends who are CAs, are into corporate finance or into some of their own practices. And what do? They do your books, they do your accounts, they do your tax. Correct? क्या दुनिया यहाँ खत्म हो जाती है? शायद दुनिया यहाँ से शुरू होती है. When I went to Accountex is the biggest accountancy festival for Europe. It happens in UK. So when I visited Accountex, can you imagine what I saw? You would be amazed at the kind of accounting professionals, the accounting knowledge, the accounting ways and procedures, right? All of you know about European compliances, GDPR compliances, right? So it's like domestic, generally accepted accounting principles, Indian GAAP, US GAAP, so European GDPR, correct? So you see, the world is not starting at your doorstep and ending at Sarkej Gandhinagar Road. Right? The world is not starting at your doorsteps and ending at SG Road or Ashram Road or Gujarat or India or Ahmedabad or Baroda. Open your perspectives. Right? You are in a profession which leads the world, which tells the world how to reconcile and grow. Reconciliation is something which you teach to the world. Right? No other profession, engineering, technical, maybe medical, maybe life sciences, maybe arts, right? They don't teach reconciliation to the world. You're the people who teach reconciliation to the world, isn't it? The reconciliation word is in your profession. So whether it is, something which is earned, your income, your receipts, your payments, your bank, your cash, everything makes up the business character, and therefore you are the people who are actually leading the reconciliation for any business. You are there to teach the entrepreneurs what to do. You are there to teach the entrepreneurs to raise funds. You are there to teach the entrepreneurs to run their corporate finance. You are there to teach the entrepreneurs in doing various practices which are prudent and compliance oriented. There is nobody in the profession who is teaching compliance. Is there? A marketing person teaches compliance, right? Engineer teaches compliance. You're the only one who teach compliance, right? So, making a choice for any of you is very important. And when I'm saying making a choice, please look at 360 degrees. Please look at global practices. Don't just remain as a frog in a well, right? I want to be a chartered accountant. That's a age-old dream. I would say that dream ended 20 years back, 25 years back. I'm sorry. Being a chartered accountant is not a choice. you still have to make a choice. So you need to understand your industry, the 360 degrees industries where application of your skill matters. It starts from a very, very small procedure of keeping books, and it goes up to as large a profession, right, as a CFO. So we are just hiring group CFO for our company in Dubai. We are hiring a unit CFO, business unit CFO to run various units, right? From that traditional domain, you come to the most modern domain, where you're helping the entire world through your accounting practices. And mind you, when we talk to clients, so currently the European condition is very bad. Most of the traders or the small businesses that are in Europe have actually closed down their businesses, have closed down their trading practices, and are looking for a job. Right? So one of the clients, just told me that, I have lost 2 of my big clients, and therefore, maybe I have 2 seats with you, I'll be withdrawing 1 seat. You know what we got back to them? We told Tracy, it's your job to grow your business, right? How to manage your business is my job. I'm going to look after all your accounting needs, all your business information needs, all your MIS needs, all your record needs, right? I'm going to tell you how can you optimize, how can you bring more clarity in your business, how can you actually streamline your financial operations, and therefore, how can you have a good financial statement. You concentrate on bringing businesses. Don't feel that you have lost clients. So there's no need to withdraw your seat. Think about growing your business, and we, as a chartered accountant or a financial practice, right, we will help you restructure your finances. So we helped her restructure her finances, and today she's back to not only 2 seats, but she has increased her seats by 100%. And still I'm saying the condition of Europe, all of you know, I don't know how much of you people know your business environment. The European conditions are very bad. But as chartered accountants, your choice is not limited to becoming a chartered accountant. Your chartered accountant needs to help the entrepreneur grow his business. And there are multiple applications, therefore, coming out of a chartered accounting profession. I would like to hire people right from traditional finance to modern day finance. I would like to hire people for accounting practices. I would like to hire people for financial outsourcing. I would like to hire people for CFO advisory services. I would like to hire people for financial analytics services that I'm giving to the entire world. So the choice, my dear people, is still left. Where would you excel? Where would you make your choice? When you go shopping, you have your wish list. Everybody has his wish list when he goes for shopping. Right? Where is your wish list? Number 1. Number 2, are you aware about major accountancy, accounting, financial industries in the world? Number 3, are you aware about the professional practices or the jobs that are available across the world in different job classifications? Please believe me when I say, whatever you have made as a choice is a drop in the ocean. When I'm looking at my practices in UK, US, Canada, Middle East, right? Every day, I have only one question. Where do I get good people? Where do I get good people who can run my business? Where do I get good people who are, have a intention? So, इरादे से ऊपर मैं लगता हूँ नियत को. अगर आपका नियत स्ट्रांग होगा, अगर आपका इंटेंशन स्ट्रांग होगा, आप एक्सप्लोर करोगे और एक्सप्लोर करने से हमें दो चीज़ें देखने को मिलती हैं जो हम इवैल्यूएट करते हैं इन कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स. सो आई वुड लाइक टू जस्ट लीव यू विद दिस थॉट कि विच आर द टू मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल्स दैट वी लुक एट ईच कैंपस. We look at the cognitive ability of a human being. Cognitive ability. Cognitive ability is the first and foremost requirement in human beings. अगर आप इंसान हैं और इंसान होके आपके पास cognitive ability नहीं है, तो आप इंसान नहीं हैं. आप किसी भी प्रोफेशन से आते हो. What is the meaning, simplest meaning of cognitive ability? Anybody? Anyone can help me with the definition of cognitive ability? Okay, let me not stretch the time. Cognitive ability is the ability to retrieve and reproduce. I'll repeat it. Cognitive ability in human beings is the ability to retrieve and reproduce. The most successful people in this world, or the people who are successful because they can retrieve anything and reproduce anything. As my senior colleague said, it's not how much you know, it's how much you reconcile, solve problems. So cognitive ability is the ability to solve problems. And it is a neuroscience related ability. As I said, I am a psychometric practitioner. जितना आप लोगों में cognitive ability ज़्यादा होगा, कभी कभी आप लोगों ने सुना होगा कि इसको IQ भी बोलते हैं, इंटेलिजेंट कोशेंट, या EQ भी बोलते हैं, इमोशनल कोशेंट, राइट? नहीं, ये वो नहीं है. दिस इज द एबिलिटी टू बी सक्सेसफुल. दिस इज द एबिलिटी दैट जब आपको जो चाहिए आप कहीं से निकाल सकते हैं और पर्दे पे डाल सकते हैं. एंड दैट इज, माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सक्सेस एंड फेलियर. व्हेन प्रिपरेशन मीट्स अपॉर्चुनिटी, you have success. So number one, please research on what is cognitive ability for a fresh graduate coming out of campus. Number two is articulative abilities. Again, articulation. And you should be best at it. CAs should be best at telling me, how should I write my accounts? How should I reconcile? How should I treat my financial statements? How should I look at my balance sheet and P&L? How should I look at my cash flows, front flows, my revenue model, etc.? So, articulative ability is the ability to resolve problems in more than one way. So, your sense of articulation is good when you have 5 different ways of solving one problem. Right? So in the last 2-3 days, we saw every road was blocked. Correct? Every road was blocked. Correct? Now let me give you a simple practical manifestation. 2 लोग हैं जिनको इस सिचुएशन में घर पहुंचना है. एक बंदे का कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटी और आर्टिकुलेटिव एबिलिटी बहुत हाई है, और एक बंदे का कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटी और आर्टिकुलेटिव एबिलिटी कम है. कौन कम समय में घर पहुंचेगा? पहला वाला कि दूसरा वाला? फर्स्ट वन, करेक्ट? Why? Because he knows and he remembers, he retrieves that अगर ये 4 रास्तों पे पानी है तो मेरा 5वां रास्ता कहाँ है, और अगर मैं उस 5वें रास्ते से जाऊंगा तो मुझे कितनी बाधाएं आएंगी, मेरे पास गाड़ी कौन सी है, कौन सी पानी से निकल पाएगी, और इसके अलावा 6ठा रास्ता कौन सा है. सो ही विल मिनिमाइज हिज रिस्क. And my dear fellow chartered accountants, you are there to minimize the risk for business. You are therefore taking care of the risk of business. आपका एक ही काम है, बिजनेस का रिस्क को संभालना. आप नहीं संभालोगे, बैड प्रैक्टिसेस के कारण बिजनेस डूब जाएगा. Right? It simply we said, if you look at working capital, right? If you have long receivables, your working capitals will crash. You look at the way Indian businesses do operate. Indian businesses operate सिर्फ कैश फ्लो पे जिंदा रहती है. मैं आप लोगों के सामने आपके मुंह पे बोल रहा हूं, इंडियन बिजनेसेस सिर्फ कैश फ्लो पे जिंदा रहती है. जिस दिन क्रैश क्रंच आ गया, 90% इंडियन बिजनेसेस मर जाएंगी. आप लोग सिखाओगे सबको कि प्रूडेंट कैश मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस क्या होती हैं, वर्किंग कैपिटल प्रैक्टिसेस क्या होती हैं. बिजनेसेस को बचाना नहीं है, उनको सस्टेनेबिलिटी मोड में ले जाना है, उनको स्केलेबल मोड में ले जाना है. एंड फाइनेंस एंड अकाउंटिंग हैज गॉट अ ह्यूज रोल टू प्ले इन दैट. ह्यूज रोल. आप लोग बिजनेस को हेल्दी रखोगे तो बिजनेस बढ़ेगा. आप लोग हेल्दी एडवाइसेस दोगे, लाइक ए न्यूट्रिशन के लिए जो आपको एडवाइस करता है आपका न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट, कि ये खाओगे, ये नहीं खाओगे, परहेज रखोगे तो हेल्थ अच्छा रहेगा. इट इज दैट कैरेक्टर दैट आई लुक एट ईच चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, एंड ही इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट वैल्यूड एडिशन टू माई टीम. So please, along with your domain skills, I am not talking about domain skills because domain skills are something which many speakers or many other faculty members would have taught you. So I believe that you are 100% on your domain skills, right? But what I have learned after 25 years, please again mark my words, as an industry practitioner, what contributes to your growth in the 30, 35, 40 years of your career is not your technical competence. Mind you, it's not your technical competence. It is your non-technical competence. Your growth in your career depends only 15% on your technical knowledge, and it depends 85% on your non-technical knowledge. And therefore, cognitive abilities and articulative abilities are the most important values which you can actually create by choice. And also look at the world around you. There are many things happening. There are many jobs being created. Not only, CA practice or traditional finance or corporate finance. Many things which are coming into the advisory roles. The advisory roles for chartered accountants, the advisory roles for fresh chartered accountants in terms of your consulting practices, the top 10 consulting practices, right, is huge, very huge. And last but not the least, it's a global village. So, इंडिया में रह के आपको यूएस के बारे में पता नहीं है, यूके के बारे में पता नहीं है, मिडल ईस्ट के बारे में पता नहीं है, ये सब पता करना ज़रूरी है, बिकॉज यही आपके कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटी का खाना है. दिस इज द फूड फॉर योर कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटी. द मोर यू ईट इट, द मोर फास्टर you will get into your careers. Gone are the days जब हम 50 साल में CEO बनते थे. I became a CEO at the age of 28. So वो ज़माने नहीं. I don't buy those arguments. I don't buy those arguments कि आपको पोडियम पे आने के लिए 30 साल मेहनत करनी है. आई एम वेरी सॉरी, राइट? वी टीच पीपल हाउ टू डू स्मार्ट वर्क, नॉट हार्ड वर्क, राइट? हम तो ट्रेनर्स भी हैं, तो एज ट्रेनर्स हमको बचपन से सिखाया जाता है, अगेन फ्रॉम माइथोलॉजिकल थिंग्स, यू नो, सबको बोला जाता है, हमारे दादा दादी, मामा मामी, चाचा चाची, डैड, मॉम एंड डैड, कि बेटा लालच बुरी बला है, लालच बुरी बला है. बट यू नो व्हाट वी टीच? लालच एक कला है. लालच एक कला है. देखते हैं आप कितनी करते हो. मैं उन्हीं को लूंगा जो सबसे ज्यादा लालची हैं. और अगर मुझे आप में लालच नहीं दिखेगा, बराबर, आप घर जा सकते हो. मैं एक छोटा सा लास्ट इंसिडेंट शेयर करूंगा, विच इज अ रियल लाइफ इंसिडेंट. आई वॉज ऑन द पैनल ऑफ हायरिंग पीपल फॉर पेटीएम व्हेन पेटीएम वॉज गेटिंग लॉन्च्ड इन इंडिया, करेक्ट? और पेटीएम को, मिस्टर शर्मा को बहुत जल्दी थी, मतलब वो 9 महीना भी वेट नहीं करेंगे बच्चा पैदा होने के लिए. वो तो मुझे 9 दिन में चाहिए, 9 days, करेक्ट? तो हमको टीम हायर करनी थी फाइनेंशियल फिनटेक ओरिएंटेड लोगों की, यू नो, फाइनेंशियल टेक्नोलॉजी. तो हमने सोचा हम इंटरव्यू लेंगे. कितने सारे एप्लीकेशंस आई हैं, 1700 एप्लीकेशंस हैं. कब इंटरव्यू लेंगे, कब ग्रुप डिस्कशन करेंगे, कब ये फेस टू फेस करके इवैल्यूएशन करेंगे. यू नो व्हाट वी डिड? हमने एक कॉन्टेस्ट रखा. हमने कैंपस से लोग सिलेक्ट करने के लिए एक प्रतियोगिता रखी, एक कॉन्टेस्ट रखा, रियलिटी शो रखा. और वो रियलिटी शो क्या था आपको पता है? वो रियलिटी शो था, हर एक कैंडिडेट को परफॉर्म करना है. और परफॉर्म करने का टॉपिक क्या था आपको पता है? उनको ये दिखाना था परफॉर्म करके कि वो कितनी नफरत करते हैं, कितनी नफरत करते हैं. नफरत, हाउ मच डू यू हेट व्हाट? नफरत किससे? पेटीएम किससे नफरत करेगा? एनीबडी? पेटीएम किससे नफरत करेगा? किससे? कैश, करेंसी, ग्रीन करेंसी, ग्रीन बक. हमने बोला कैंडिडेट्स को कि जो सबसे ज्यादा नफरत दिखाएगा, साबित करेगा करेंसी के खिलाफ, अगेंस्ट द डॉलर, अगेंस्ट द ग्रीन बक, वी विल हायर देम. सबको 10 मिनट दिए अपनी नफरत साबित करने के लिए. वी हायर्ड ऑलमोस्ट 57-60 पीपल आउट ऑफ 1700 पीपल, जिन्होंने सबसे ज्यादा नफरत डॉलर और करेंसी के खिलाफ साबित की. Paytm was supposed to get launched in 2000 days. In 2000 days. You know how many days Paytm was launched? 170 days. साठ लोगों ने मिलकर पेटीएम की डिजिटल करेंसी को 2000 दिन की जगह 170 दिन में लॉन्च किया. क्यों लॉन्च किया? क्योंकि वो बहुत नफरत करते थे. नफरत करते थे कैश से, नफरत करते थे डिजिटल कैश करेंसी से, नफरत करते थे रुपए से, नफरत करते थे डॉलर से. खत्म कर देना था उनको डॉलर. दिखना ही नहीं चाहिए, 24 घंटे में डॉलर खत्म. इतनी शिद्दत से नफरत की उन्होंने कि 2000 दिन में का काम 170 दिन में हो गया। So I think the choice is very clear. Any questions for me? हाँ, मैं आपको नफरत करना नहीं सिखाऊंगा। So believe me, guys, आपके टेक्निकल्स आपके पास हैं। आप 3 चीज़ों को सही कर लीजिए। नंबर 1, नियत। नंबर 2, your cognitive ability, and number 3, your articulative abilities. मैं गारंटी देता हूं आपको, जहां हम 40 साल में पहुंचे हैं वहां आप 25 साल में पहुंच जाएंगे। एंड द इंडस्ट्री विल वेलकम यू विद ओपन आर्म्स। हर एक एंटरप्रेन्योर को, आई पर्सनली नो अराउंड मोर देन 1000 एंटरप्रेन्योर्स इन द स्टेट ऑफ गुजरात। सब लोग एक ही चीज बोलते हैं, मुझे कंपनी ग्रो करनी है, मुझे अच्छा रिसोर्स लाके दो। Back in 2018-19, when the Narendra Modi government came out with the MSME department, first time in the history of India, we came out with the MSME department. At that time, the Union Minister of MSME was Mr. Giriraj Mishra. And we were thinking, make in India. Right? लेकिन आज भी हमारी हालत बहुत खराब है। Our startup failure rate is 90%. Our startup failure rate is 90%. 10 में से 9 स्टार्टअप मर जाते हैं। क्यों मर जाते हैं? एंटरप्रेन्योर ने रिस्क लेना बंद नहीं किया। एंटरप्रेन्योर वांट्स टू टेक रिस्क। उसने 500 घर का चूल्हा जलाया है, वो 1000 घर का चूल्हा जला सकता है। He requires, so when we made the presentation, we said, sir, you have given a lot of financial assistance. आपने बहुत सारी पब्लिक पॉलिसी, आपने बहुत सारी फाइनेंशियल पॉलिसीज लॉन्च की है एमएसएमईज के लिए, लेकिन जो बंदा, जो एंटरप्रेन्योर एक माइक्रो, स्मॉल, मीडियम एंटरप्राइज को पैदा करना चाहता है और उसको ग्रो करना चाहता है, उसकी बैंडविड्थ पे आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया। शायद वो पढ़ा लिखा भी नहीं है, तो उसको ये सब संभालने के लिए उसके पास ऑनेस्ट एंड टेक्निकली क्वालिफाइड प्रोफेशनल्स होने चाहिए, तब जाके वो ग्रो करेगा। आपने उसको बहुत सारा लोन दे दिया, बहुत सारा फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट दे दिया, बहुत सारा पब्लिक पॉलिसी दे दिया, बहुत सारी स्कीम्स दे दी, तो भी फेलियर रेट 90%। क्यों? जिस चीज पे ध्यान देना है उस चीज पे ध्यान दीजिए। उसके लेफ्ट और राइट में, आज भी आई वेंट टू निर्मा, राइट, एंड आई आस्क्ड एन एमबीए ग्रेजुएट, स्टार्टअप में जाना चाहते हो? एमएसएमई का फुल फॉर्म क्या है? बेचारा घबरा गया। उसको पता ही नहीं है कि मोर देन 60% ऑफ आवर जीडीपी इज कमिंग फ्रॉम एमएसएमईज, माइक्रो, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस। उसकी चॉइस ही नहीं है क्योंकि उसको मालूम नहीं है। When I go as a visiting faculty to institutes, मैं बहुत गुस्सा करता हूँ बच्चों पे। So one fine day, a small girl just stood up before me. मैं बहुत गुस्सा कर रहा था, ये नहीं किया, वो नहीं किया। And Palak just stood up. I was in the 4th semester of MBA. And Palak said, सर हम सब करने को तैयार थे, हम सब करने को तैयार हैं, लेकिन हमें पता तो चले, हमें आज से पहले किसी ने बताया नहीं कि ये भी करना है। देखिए, आप पैदा हुए, आपकी चॉइस नहीं थी। आप यू आर बॉर्न टू अ मदर एंड फादर, आपकी चॉइस नहीं थी। आप एक परिवार में पैदा हुए, आपकी चॉइस नहीं थी। करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग। आप अहमदाबाद में पैदा हुए, आपकी चॉइस नहीं थी। आप कौन से किंडरगार्टन में गए या आप कौन सी सोसाइटी में हैं, आपकी चॉइस नहीं है। आप कौन से किंडरगार्टन में गए, आपकी चॉइस नहीं है। आप कौन से प्राइमरी स्कूल में गए, आपकी चॉइस नहीं है। आप कौन से सेकेंडरी स्कूल में गए, आपकी चॉइस नहीं है। करते करते आप टीनेजर बन गए। यू केम टू योर 10th and 12th, राइट। उसमें भी इंडिया में आज सिचुएशन है कि मैं 10th या 12th क्लास के स्टूडेंट को पूछूंगा कि तुम्हारी चॉइस क्या है, साइंस या कॉमर्स, वो बेचारा घबरा जाएगा। आप सोचो 20 साल तक आपको पता ही नहीं है कि चॉइस क्या है। आपकी सिविलाइजेशन, आपकी सोसाइटी ने आपको कभी चॉइस करना सिखाया ही नहीं, सिर्फ चॉइस लेना सिखाया है। सो गो बैक टू दोस स्ट्रीट्स एंड स्टार्ट मेकिंग योर चॉइस। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर, बहुत अच्छा आपने सिखाया है। हम कभी भी आपसे नफरत नहीं करना चाहेंगे। और यू हैव rightly mentioned, then we all of us, we have to do 360-degree analysis before starting any work or before choosing any option in our career. Sir, thank you very much for your insightful presentations. Being an engineer, your idea, expertise and practical insights are greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for sharing a valuable knowledge with us. And one small poet I am dedicated to newly chartered accountants. Being a Gujarati, I wish to sing a poet in Gujarati. ICIના મેમ્બર્સની સ્ટ્રેન્થ મારી એસેટ્સ લાગે છે. ICIના મેમ્બર્સની સ્ટ્રેન્થ મારી એસેટ્સ લાગે છે. ક્યારેય જો CPE અવર્સ ના કરું એ મારી લાયબિલિટી લાગે છે. એક્ઝામમાં પાસ ના થયા હોય તો શેર્સ કંઈક ઓછા લાગે છે અને ઓરિએન્ટેશનની ટ્રેનિંગ ના લીધી હોય તો મારી બેલેન્સ શીટ અધૂરી લાગે છે. પોતે સબસિડરી થઈ અને ICIને હોલ્ડિંગ બનાવવા માગું છું. કોઈ બાંધશે નહીં, પણ મારા જીવનના બધા જ શેર CA પ્રોફેશનના નામે કરવા માગું છું. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ. ઓલ ધ બેસ્ટ, ન્યૂલી ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ.